Canon R5 and 5 RF lenses. That might still happen, but that's not what happened here. As I sat thinking about all the different mirrorless cameras and looking at all the different options, my friend Peter messaged me. He was looking at the Z7 II and he said to me, but who the hell needs 45 megapixels? And he's absolutely right. Hardly anyone. And as we discussed backwards and forth, I just thought to myself, sometimes I just wish my old 5D Mark II was still alive. But I miss it and it's gone forever. So I started looking. I went onto MPB and I started looking for a 5D Mark II in mint condition. And I saw the prices are low. I mean, they're really low for what it is. And then I thought, I wonder how cheap they can get. So I started scrolling down and down and down the list until eventually I got into the basement, the scrap heap, the cameras that no one wants to buy, the heavily used, lowest price camera I could find. And there it was, battered old 5D Mark II, the old champ, down but not out. It was then seeing that battered camera sat there at the bottom of the list that I knew that that camera was definitely the one for me. I thought, I'm going to get you back on your feet. One last chance at life, one last adventure, once more into the breach. I present to you my new, to me, but very old and used 5D Mark II. Because unlike people, there are thousands and thousands of cameras out there that are pretty much all identical to each other. And the 5D is probably one of the most popular cameras that's ever been sold. So there's literally thousands of them everywhere. Cameras like this one that have cosmetic damage on the outside are actually perfectly fine on the inside. And the pictures that it's going to take are going to be as good as the day when it was new. Don't be discouraged when you look at these older cameras and you see a battered exterior, because what's underneath that is still the same electronics, the same working parts, the same sensor, and all of the things that made that camera, the 5D Mark II, it's exactly the same. So when I take pictures on this, it's going to be the same as it was when it was brand new out of the box. It just looks battered on the outside. And there's nothing wrong with giving cameras like this, these older cameras that have kind of had their life, come to the end of it, but there's nothing wrong with them. You can just pick them up at really low prices like this and get out and use them. And one of the reasons I used MPB, there are other shops like that as well that you can use. This isn't sponsored by them, it's just a shop that I use often and I have had good experiences with. But there's plenty of other shops around, they give you a warranty with it. So this one's got a 6-month warranty. So I have picked myself up a 5D Mark II in perfect working condition, which is different from just perfect condition, for £229, which is probably $300. I know that's probably not the best price. There's going to be someone out there watching this. There'll be a few of you that have picked them up for $100 or something. If you can beat £229, get the currency converter open on Google. Tell me what you paid. Let me know if you've beaten £229 for a used 5D Mark II. I just wanted this camera back. Why not the 6D Mark I? Well, there wasn't any real particular reason, because the 6D Mark I is another camera that I want. And with the 6D being a bit more like the 5D Mark I in rendering, but I've got a 5D Mark I. I thought I'd pick up the 5D Mark II because that's a different color shift from the 6D and the 5D Mark I. It's the 5D II is more earthy tones. It's got sort of deeper blacks, and it's a more sort of brown and white and just more rustic looking. I think that's a way to explain it. It's more sort of earthy, rustic looking in tones, which I really love in its own right. I think it's a really beautiful look, and I've missed it and I want that back. I guess the thing that I want you to take away from this video is really that you can get this older gear that's quite cheap and make the most of it and really do a lot with it. The advantage for me with getting this camera is that when I take it out, it's devalued as much as it's realistically going to now. So any knocks and dents or scrapes that I make on it are not going to show up anymore because it's already got all of that. And it's not going to devalue anymore unless I completely break it. So this isn't a camera that I'm going to sell. I'm just going to keep it now. It doesn't have to be a big deal and I don't have to baby it. I'm really big on this for all of you that are looking at cameras. You have to make a choice in your minds with your camera. Are you going to buy something that you're going to baby and keep on the shelf and not use properly? That's okay to do that. Maybe you keep that for certain shoots where you know it's not going to get damaged. But I think in the process of doing that, you are... say that you're wasting a chunk of money, but to some degree you are, because if you do not use the thing fully, it's probably better to step down a couple of levels, get something a little bit older that you're going to use a hell of a lot more because you're not so worried about scraping it or damaging it, such as this. So for me, that's a really good option because I don't like being particularly gentle with my camera gear, and I hate thinking about resale value, like the resale value of a camera once I've bought it. I don't like thinking, well, if I make any dents or scratches on this, then I'm going to lose a chunk of money in the resale value, which you do lose the resale value like that. But that's how it goes. So you have to kind of compromise and think what do you want from it. Most of the time I want to have a camera that I can just get on with using and not be worried about it. But I also accept that there are times when the newer features are so useful that it is worthwhile doing that. So maybe having both is a good balance, and that's kind of the road I'm going down right now, is to invest at some point in a good mirrorless system, but also have some of these older cameras that I can use for certain shoots that I want to do too. And it's just really fun using them again. And I'll tell you something, picking this camera up again, it's just like coming home. There's certain camera models that are from my past that mean a lot to me, and this is one of them. And when my last one died at nearly, I don't know, it was like 450,000 clicks or something, it was very high, and it was near 500,000. When my last one died, I was thinking, I've just got to go and get another one, and I never did it until a couple of days ago, and now I've done it, so I've got that camera. What I'd be interested to know from you guys is, what's the camera that you'd go back and buy, that older camera maybe that you've used before, or maybe you're looking at other people's work on it, it's an older camera and you think, I'd like to get that. Is there a camera model that interests you at the moment you're thinking about? Let me know in the comments what that is. I'll be interested to see what you guys are thinking about and what you're looking at the moment. If you want to see some of my work on the 5D Mark II, I have got a video on that already, and I'll put the link for that up here.